hypothyroid, but you're definitely not as functional as you should be. Things just aren't functioning correctly.
Someone told me love was only. This has gotta be the night that dreams come true. Everything feels just right. Girl, when I'm with you, you know that I'll be holding on. Did you feel my love? Did you feel my love? I'm how you like. Did you feel my love?
I just want to let you guys know, I am in so much pain right now. I have no words. Nope.
Typically, so there's not enough hormones to stabilize your some of your tissues in your ovaries and your reproductive axes, and so then you can get that bleed. And there's a couple other reasons to ensure that there's no nutrient deficiencies that were caused from being on the pill in the first place. Pills, they work in our bodies in many different ways, and we know it's a contraceptive. I still have that monkey brain that comes up.
Yeah, and especially, having someone tell me I can't really eat carbs, it's like, just goes back down that road.
Trigger.
Because it's like...
Oh, it's the trigger.
Yeah, I was telling my friend the other day, it's like, I don't mind doing a cleanse for 36 days, but, let's say this cleanse does get to the point of, I lose the weight, but that's the thing, it's going to put in my brain, like, okay, well, this is all I have to eat no carbs for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and that won't bode well for your thyroid. You need carbs for thyroid. We need carbs.
All right, so the biggest things that I saw from both, all the lab work you had done and also the way that you've been feeling. Number one is your digestion is a mess, and it's a mess at multiple different points in that, what we call the GI or gastrointestinal system. And so that, first and foremost, we got to fix. Because if you're not digesting your food, if you're also kind of causing havoc, if you're trying to digest your food, then it's really just going to be such a disservice to all aspects of your life, energy, moods, even just like bloating. And that's something that can be relatively easy for us to fix. So that brings me to our other big number two is very deficient in vitamin B12 and vitamin B9, but it's actually coupled with a form of anemia. And so often we think that that's an iron deficiency, and what we could tell from your labs is that it's not really that you're deficient in iron itself. You were actually high in iron. It was that your iron's not binding in your body. It's not getting broken down. It's just floating around the place causing chaos. And so even though you have symptoms and some of your markers show that you have anemia, you still have high iron. So different practitioners might not even see that you're anemic, but it's pretty clear that, even just the fact your exhaustion and your bruising, like all these little things, we can tell you're anemic. And anemia is going to have so many different impacts on your life. And also just internally as well. Another thing that we saw was, like I said, deficiencies in B9 and B12 and a bunch of others. And so together, all of these vitamins and minerals and nutrients that our bodies need to function from a cellular level, you're not getting. And so they are affecting your thyroid. Because if the thyroid doesn't have what it needs, we're not binding, we're not even being able to convert our hormones properly, because certain vitamins and minerals, that's what our thyroid needs. It's like food for it. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that you're like hypothyroid, but you're definitely not as functional as you should be. Things just aren't functioning correctly. And then some other things, your adrenal axes. So I would talk about not necessarily, I would say adrenal fatigue, because I don't really like that word. It's not really a thing. It's more that your body is in an incredibly stressed out state, and that your adrenal axes, so what both feeds into our adrenals and then how our adrenals respond, isn't working as optimally as it should be. And that's going to be as a result of like a ton of different things from, who you were in the past in terms of like a collegiate athlete to who you are today, and how we're not only managing our stress, but our training and our nutrition, and even just the state of your body right now with how you're not breaking down nutrients. I mean, that alone sends your body into a fight or flight place rather than literally a rest and digest place. And so that's something else that really needs to get worked on to help you begin to feel better, in a very broad sense.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. If you guys saw the previous clip, you know what has been going on with me for the past year and a half. Starting from the beginning, as you all know, I struggled with an eating disorder. Once I transferred colleges, I played college lacrosse. I'll insert some pictures throughout like my past 2, 3, 4 years. So started off playing college lacrosse in Florida, and for 2 years. I thought the school was a little small. I loved it, but just kind of wanted something bigger, and I felt like I wanted a sorority and just living the college life. So I transferred to a much bigger school in Ohio, mid-sophomore year. It was right when Rush happened, so joined a sorority, didn't know like anyone there, and I was just so not myself there, and I could tell from the beginning. And I developed an eating disorder. I would exercise like 4 hours a day. I would eat chicken. That's basically it. I just didn't care to really meet anyone, which is my biggest regret. So after college, I started recovery. So this was like 2017. And moved out to LA in 2018, where I was comfortable enough to know that my eating disorder wouldn't get to me again. So I moved out to LA and created my own online coaching business and was like intuitively eating, but I was so inflamed and just was not happy whatsoever with how I looked. So I think it was October of last year, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna hire a coach again who can do my nutrition and training, where I check in with them weekly, I do macros, basically what I do, but I needed someone to hold me accountable. So the weight was coming off. I was like feeling so much better about myself, lifting heavier than I ever have in my life, and then decided to go off birth control for like a month. And this was like the beginning of quarantine. So this was March. I was gaining I think I gained like 5 to 8 pounds randomly. If you know me, I eat super healthy. I stay away from processed foods as much as I can. And I was just gaining all this random weight. I had no energy whatsoever. I was so fatigued. My body was sore all the time. And I wasn't lifting because obviously the gyms are closed. I was doing HIIT and just going on 4-mile walks with my dog and just stuff that my body probably needed rest from, which was lifting. But the outcome was the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be. So I went to 2 different hormonal doctors, got blood work done. I did a stool test. I did a swab test. I think within this quarantine, I've done a total of like 15 to 20 blood tests, not lying. Some research and found this woman by the name of Victoria Felker, who was in the video. And I talked to her for about like 2 hours and knew she was the person I needed to work with, because she deals with hormones in female athletes and like looks way past like the normal blood work, whereas a doctor would just be like, oh yeah, you're within the normal range. Whereas she looks at the history of like, you could be in the normal range of like your thyroid, but with the amount of training and nutrition and all this stuff, you're not in range, if that makes sense. Deficient in a ton of stuff, which is what I have been taking. I've been taking supplements, vitamins, minerals, etc., all natural. And she said it takes about like a month or 2 to really kick in, and I'm on my 3rd week. But I could just tell my energy is so much better. The weight I think will come off. Like, I'm not trying to lose weight as in like all this weight, but get to where I want to be, which is my ideal weight. So some pounds have been like coming off, feeling a lot more energized. I motivated to do stuff. I'm not stressing. I've been doing breathing exercises every day. I've been doing yoga on Sundays. I've been stretching. I've just been taking the time to really focus on myself. And I'm actually on day 3 of no social media, which has actually kind of been really hard.
I can do
but
it.
I know it's for the better.
I can
so
do
I'm
it.
just trying
I
to focus
almost
in other areas
gave
of my
in.
life, getting certified in my nutrition. I'm working, you know, I'm still working from home with my full-time job. So I just want to be like, give them 110% as I have been, but I just want to really hone in on doing my work. So that's basically what has been going on. The pictures from my eating disorder, from my college lacrosse, to when I was working with a coach, to when I was inflamed. And I will update you guys when when my body changes more, because I love updating you guys and I just love keeping you in the loop. I know I've mentioned my struggles many times, but I'm really just here to help those that are in need. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys soon.